A warm welcome from me, Claire from Wiltshire. I am in my home garden. This is my home garden vlog for this week. It feels like a long time ago I last came out here and talked to you all. So I'm quite excited to go through everything. There's been a few changes, mainly due to the weather. As much as it looks really sunny right now, we are forecast thunderstorms today. Yay! So I've been up the allotment a lot recently. I haven't neglected my garden. I've done 5 minutes here and there, but it's really difficult to be out here when it rains so much because my grass area gets very boggy, very slippery. And at the moment I've got an injured hip, so I have to be really careful what I'm stepping on and what I'm doing until I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, get a steroid injection just to help me out a little bit until I can see my hip surgeon. So welcome to the greenhouse. It is 21 degrees and 82% humidity. Let me check that face. Not quite a smiley face, but a little one. I am going to open the window though, because I need to be able to breathe. Okay, it's very moist in here. Very, very moist. Okay, window open. Knowing that it's raining and knowing how much I've got to do, the plan for this morning is to get in the actual garden itself, do anything that needs doing, which is, I have a plan. So I wrote this 2 days ago to do yesterday. I wasn't very well yesterday, so I wasn't able to come out into the garden. I mean, it rained anyway, but I still couldn't get out here yesterday. So there are a couple of other things that need tweaking on this list that will need to be done before the rain comes. So my first job is to probably not do this in order because I need to get out before it rains. Then when the rain comes, I can do the greenhouse, which needs a major move around and tidy up. But I'm not able to get to everything to finger it to see if it needs watering or not. So let's go with the list. Okay, so we have got top priorities today. Greenhouse, definitely. Adding compost to the vegetable patch. I've been building my bits of compost up from the house and I have quite a few bits and pieces, tea bags, vegetables, cardboard, all ready to go in my compost heap. And I need to make sure that it's nice and moist as well, because one of my mistakes at the allotment was not keeping my compost bin moist enough because we had such a dry summer. It wasn't moist and I don't have a supply of water at the allotment. So the water that we did bring down, it really needed to go on the vegetables and the fruits rather than on the compost heap, because it was hard enough work taking the supply of water down that we actually did because we didn't have water tanks that were full up. So I've got all that to add to my compost bin today, which I'm thoroughly enjoying doing in the home garden. And I need to give it a little mix as well. And dehydrating the calendula. So I do want to start doing my own teas and I do want to start drying them all. So I will be dehydrating calendula if I have enough. Now I have it in the back garden and in the front garden. And a little tip that I learned off of somebody in America whose channel I watch, who's completely Faye, I think it is, has gone. I'm terrible with names. She has a little tea garden and she says like calendula is one of the best things you can grow. Pick it first thing in the morning, smaller heads, not let them get too established. Then lay them out and pop them in the dehydrator. Pop them into a glass jar so they're ready for you to use. So that is my plan for this morning. So that is the first thing I'm actually going to do on the list, is get any calendula from the back and the front and pop it inside before more rain comes. So I have got in my schedule to swap out the tomatoes because I've got lots of red ones and I think I'm done now. We're expecting 10 days of rain. This is the last day of sunshine apparently. So 10 days of rain. And I don't think the tomatoes going to do very well. I've noticed on some of the ones that are ripening, I'm getting those bruising on them again and those marks on them because it's so inconsistent, the weather. So I'm happy. I've had a really good supply of tomatoes out of the 6 plants that I've got there. The smaller ones doing okay, but the bigger tomatoes are not. I've got some tomatoes in the freezer. I've got some in the fridge. Like I say, I've got some in here. That's plenty to do about 5 jars of pasta sauce. So I'm not overly fussed if I lose more tomatoes. I will put them in here just to see if they ripen or not. But I'm ready to take them down if I'm honest. Because they're struggling and I don't want to get blight. So pot the lavender up. I still haven't done that. They're still sat in here in polystyrene. They need to go into their final place. What does that say? Big move for space vegetable patch calendula. Big more. I have no idea what I wrote there. It will come to me. Take the tomatoes out, plant lavender in pots, tidy shelving, harvest more sunflower seeds. I did a little bit of that yesterday in the 5-minute break in the rain. I did come in here and do that, and I actually gave them to the birds. Put doorknob on. Now I haven't got a doorknob, and I'm holding it on with a hook, so I need to get the doorknobs and put a doorknob on, and possibly the DIY. See, I knew it would come to me, plane the bottom of the door because it's not shutting properly. Rejig the large pots, add a mix of compost and manure to the vegetable bed. So I'm going to take out the giant sunflower in the vegetable patch. It's growing higher than the roof, and I need to take it off before it rips the roof. And there are quite a few gaps now coming along, so I want to be able to put a good mix of compost in those areas. And then when I'm harvesting other things, I'll do the same, and as I go along like that, rather than doing the whole bed when I've got some new stuff in there and messing up what's going on there with the microbiomes that I've got in there at the moment. I'm going to, as soon as I see a space, like I took the celery out, so I'll put some there. I'm going to take the sunflower out. I'm going to leave the root in, but take the sunflower out. So I'll put some there, and I've got some around the edges where I've got nothing growing. That needs to go in there. So I do need to do a bit of a mix of that. So it's going to be a dirty, smelly job. Not looking forward to that one. And check for caterpillars, because yesterday there was a huge caterpillar, a cabbage white. Now I've had this netted for 3 weeks now, and I'm still finding cabbage white butterflies. Not the butterflies, their eggs have hatched, even though I've been checking for them, and they are still eating my brassicas. And so that's it. That's my list, and I'm going to try and stick to this list as much as humanly possible. Things are going to get in the way, absolutely no doubt, like the weather. Let's just hope I don't get stuck in here when there is a thunderstorm, because that's not going to be fun with a glass roof. Not that I can see, because the condensation is absolutely disgusting. I mean, you probably can't see that, but that's flicking everywhere. So, and the cobwebs, I need to bring a feather duster. Who would have thought I'd need a feather duster in my greenhouse? Because there are a lot of cobwebs in here, and I'm not a fan of spiders, to say the least. They don't scare me as long as they're on their webs and they're away. But if I don't see it and I suddenly put my hand there, that's a whole nother story. So yeah, so welcome to my garden. I hope you will enjoy the beauty of my garden still. I am at the crossover phase. Some things are looking like autumn. I've still got quite a lot of things in my garden that look like summer. So next week, once my daughter's gone to uni, that is when I start planning on doing my autumn theme. I am big on autumn. I thoroughly decorate the front of my house with autumn and inside my house. So I was thinking about doing a little bit around my greenhouse as well, as much as I want to hold on to the summer. But I think once you take out your tomatoes, I think you're pretty much done with summer, because to me, tomatoes are summer, especially now. I like to eat them, and I hated them before. So come along and enjoy my garden vlog.
I decided to do a little bit of deadheading on the flower beds and the pumpkin patch. Some of the leaves were looking very dead, and I wanted the sunlight, what little sunlight we have left, to be able to give the pumpkins some energy to grow. They were quite late in, which is why they are so small, but they're more for decoration, ready for the autumn season and Halloween, than they are for eating, so I'm okay with that. Next year I will know to put them in the front a lot earlier than what I did, but it was a last minute idea I had with the leftover pumpkin plants that I had, and I'd gifted some and had a couple left over, so I thought, why not, let's just put them out the front and see what happens. So a little experiment, and I have got one that's an okay size. And like I said before, with this sudden rain that we've had from having all of that sunshine, there's lots of new growth, lots of little tiny baby pumpkins starting to regrow. I'm not going to cut too much away. I'm literally just going to see what happens and let it be. My compost heap currently consists of mainly weeds and apples that I had picked off of my tree out the front that were too small to do anything with or damaged. The cardboard I made sure I'd cut up into really small pieces so it can break down a lot easier. I then added lots of peelings, some leftover vegetables, a few more apples that I had found that had gone rotten. So there was carrot peelings, onion peelings, potato peelings, runner bean, peas and beans. I then added my tea bags, which I pop into a bag during the week, and then at the end of the week I empty all of it out into the compost bin. That's the potato peelings going in. There was quite a few of those. It was 2 bags of potatoes that was peeled in the end, so they went in on top. I then gave it a really good mix around. The composting done. I need more browns in there. It's predominantly greens at the moment, so I definitely need more browns in there. So I'm going to have a look around the house, have a look in the garage, see if I've got any animal bedding, and I will pop that in before I pour anything else on it. So I have a bottle of fertilizer, so banana skins that have been in a 5 litre bottle for a few months now. I will pour that on top, just to help break everything down and put some extra nutrition into the compost. Okay, so the tomatoes, like before, once I started getting rain and sun, started to bruise. Now everyone told me, oh, it's blight, it's blight. It wasn't blight, because I've had many more beautiful tomatoes since then. It is literally the change in weather. As soon as we get a little bit of sunshine after all of this wet weather, they either split or they start to bruise, so they're absolutely fine. This plant is now empty. Okay, so I am going to be cutting this one down now, because there is nothing else on here. It's completely empty.
So as you can see, that piece of string held up really well. It's definitely something that I will do again. So I will put all of these in a pile, and then I will take them into the greenhouse on another day, cut them all up before I put them into the compost and remove the string. Let's move on to the second one. Tomatoes on this one that are quite a decent size. Some more flowers on that one. So I am a little bit dubious of what to do with this one, because the tomatoes are looking really healthy on this one. In the sun, in the shade. I might leave this one, you know, not as a tester, but it's still looking super healthy. Lots of new growth on it as well. I've decided I am going to leave that one because a lot of the tomatoes are still looking absolutely perfect. With the new growth on the plant, it must be doing something okay, but the rest of them, like I said, aren't looking fantastic. Bird pill on, delicious. That one can come out. So this one, again, not great. Plus the stem was broken. That's okay. Those two are okay. Small bruise on that one, but look, it's going to go and ripen. If it ripens with the bruise on it, that just shows that one's ready to come down. Come straight off as soon as you cut the string. Okay, cut that one out. As you can see, so many tomatoes on this one. Gosh. So that is everything I've taken off. They are at such different stages. I've got some ones there that'll be ready in a couple of days, and then maybe a week, and then some very green ones and a little yellow one down there. So we will see what happens. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Let's see what's left after I've removed the tomatoes. So lots of basil, lots of marigolds, and then absolutely nothing. I will trim the strings down as well, but I'm just trying to get as many jobs done before the rain as possible. Again, I've left the marigolds and the basil in, although that basil has started to flower. Let's take the tops off quickly. And this is the one that I have left in. As you can see, lots of new shoots on it, so something's going well with that one. That could be my little experiment. And the basil, and there are marigolds in behind, and this basil plant has just gone nuts. As you can see, there is marigold still in there, so they have survived from the start, and they have produced really well because I've kept topping them to make sure that my tomatoes have got a constant supply of marigolds and basil. It's worked so well. We'll definitely do that again next year, 100%. So let's get a different angle of how sad it looks now. That's so sad. I've had a lot of enjoyment from the tomatoes from my first year of growing them.
And then all of this, like I said, will be cut up. I think I'll use my shears for these, and then they will be composted, probably at the allotment compost bin, because I've got a lot of green already in mine. So let's go over to my last tomato plant on the other side of the vegetable patch. Okay, so this is my last tomato plant, and the reason why it's here is because I wasn't going to put any more in the ground. However, I did go to the garden centre, Dobby's, and they had this one here. Obviously it was a lot smaller than this, and I just thought, how beautiful do these look? They could have gone in a lot earlier because obviously all the early sun that we had, but these are so stunning. I absolutely love them. They're a bushy tomato plant, and they are supposed to be like pear drops, not like plum tomatoes, like pear drops. But they are my favourite, and I can just eat these straight off of the plant, and I would definitely 100% be having these again next year. Whether I can get them from the shop or whether I'm going to be able to harvest myself is a whole nother question. Got 2 more there. Now bear in mind I took 5 off yesterday. They're doing well in the rain. Absolutely beautiful, and I've hardly had to trim this one back. I might start going around and taking some of the little ones off, but this one's so fragile, that's why I haven't touched it. It doesn't take much to knock them off. So if you do get this variety, just bear that in mind. Okay, so that's the tomato harvest. Now I'm going to swap them out for the ones that are ripe. So these are the ripe ones. These are very ready. These are quite squidgy, to be fair, but I am cooking with them today. Oh, I'm stuck on a stick. So you can see some that fell off. They're not looking fantastic, if I'm honest. Not a good sign about ripening them up in here compared to the other ones. So I will take these ones out and replace them with the ones that I've just picked. That's a lot prettier, isn't it? You can see how yellow they are now against the red. So they will go in my pasta sauce today, because I've got a couple of courgettes as well. So I'm hoping tonight I can have some music on, maybe have a little drink and do some canning tonight. Fingers crossed. I just need to find some apples from a tree and do a big batch. And the last of the tomatoes in there ready to ripen. They do ripen extremely well in here. It's definitely something I'm going to do next year. I'm going to have some in the greenhouse next year growing, and then I thought I'd have some in baskets cascading, and then 2 rows like the one you've just seen I've had in the garden, 2 of those. So I do need to find some more poles in 2 different spaces in the garden, because I have bought a fair amount of seed, because I was so surprised how much homegrown tomatoes taste. I mean, it's unreal. It's literally a completely different flavour to the supermarket. So even if you can only get to grow 1 lot of tomatoes next year, I would say do it. Honestly, all you've got to do is save all your eggshells through this cold spell, crush them all up. When you plant your tomatoes, put a measuring baking cupful in the bottom, pop your plant on top of it, your tomato plant. Either use a cage or some kind of structure to hold it up so it's not falling on each other, and then take off any suckers. You don't have to take them all off. I found if you leave the top ones from the middle to the top on, you do get more tomatoes. So everybody says strip them back, strip them back. However, on a couple of my plants, I didn't take them all off. I always take the bottom ones off for airflow, and if they look messy or bushy, 100% take them off. So tomato growing for next year is a definite must. That will be going in my plan for next year and part of my recipes and my breakfast, because these are what I eat for breakfast, and so I don't really know what I'm going to do when the burr moments come in the morning, so I haven't got a beautiful ripe tomato to eat. That's going to be quite sad. I'm going to have to find something else, maybe some spinach in my omelette, something like that, because I love to eat in the garden.
in the morning, so I might even just do the little spinach omelettes and have them ready. So I know that the greenhouse is last on my list today. However, as soon as I have the harvest basket with me, I am going to quickly do a harvest from the greenhouse, because my peppers need to come off now. They've got as big as they're going to get, and some of them have really ripened. So I'm going to pop them in with a tomato basket and then take that in. My Scotch bonnets look absolutely stunning. I didn't think I was going to get any red ones. However, I can see 4. So I am going to take those ones off. Let's make sure I can get to everything without disturbing anything. Right. So 1 Scotch bonnet. How beautiful is that? Oh, stunning. Literally, when you harvest and it makes you smile, you remember why all this hard work has been put into it. 3 and 4. I mean, I don't think you're going to get any more perfect than that, if I'm honest. I mean, they are absolutely stunning. So this is the one I've had the problem with. So this is the sweet chili pepper plant. Oh, I have some fruit. I have some fruit, everybody. Can you see it? Yes, you can. So this one has been attacked by whitefly very, very badly. It's been eaten to death, and it doesn't matter how many times I spray it. It's not good at all. But I have got some flowers on it now. You have to excuse the banging, that's the wind. So yeah, so I was going to trim it right back, but now I don't know what to do. I might just take the tops off and try and get whatever's at the bottom to grow. Anyway, that's not what I'm doing right now. So this chili plant, although it's flowering all over again when I didn't think it would, I have taken everything off of it. It is producing some little peach ones, and I think again that's because the sun isn't actually getting to it. But this one, as you can see, I have tons of purple ones on this one, so I will be harvesting those ones. So I'm just going to try and do it one-handed for now, because I'm in an awkward position. Let's let it drop onto here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a funny shaped one here, which I don't want to touch the soil. 5. Oh, is that it? No, there's one hiding in here. 6. So let's count 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got it. So that's 6 other purple ones, and they are just as stunning. So considering one of those plants was a lot bigger than the other to start off with, because I had it outside, and even though we had a hot summer, it struggled. As soon as I brought it into the greenhouse, it caught up with the other one. So this is one I will definitely be growing next year to overwinter. I do have 2, so I might overwinter it and then gift it to somebody, or sell it. I could always sell it, because who isn't going to want beautiful purple chilies? And it's got nothing to do with the fact that purple is my absolute favourite colour, you know, but they are really hot and spicy too. I mean, it's the Burr month and we have colour. That's fantastic. And my last chilli plant, which is the one I bought from the supermarket, is still producing tiny little chilies, which I'm going to be drying these ones. So these can go in the dehydrator with the calendula, so that way I'm not wasting any space. Oh, that one's quite big. Oh, I dropped one. This is why I like to count them. Let's pop them. Oh, it's stuck. Got it stuck. Okay, so with the door banging, that tells me that the storm is coming. So a few little ones there, but I can dehydrate these and then use them at a later date. So what I will do is, I'm probably not going to wait for anything else to come off of this one now, because what it's producing is absolutely tiny. I will probably cut this right back now, as in greenhouse job. Right. This is why I need to get a doorknob put on and my door fixed, because the door does not fit the greenhouse as much as the range likes to tell me it does. It does not. So there you go. There's a few little ones there. I might not even dry them, you know. I might even put them in the chilli jam as whole, just so someone gets an extra kick of heat. I am cruel. So it's time to come into the vegetable bed. I can show you now from this side what it's looking like. Very, very green, which is good. Some empty spaces where I've taken out some things. Oh yes, that sunflower, that is on my list. As you can see, it is poking the netting at the top, which is not good. So this is on my list right now. So I'm going to cut anything back that needs cutting back. Oh, we have a resident spider. I'll have to make sure that I am not too close to that one. So yeah, so like I said, I'm going to cut back anything that needs cutting back. If there's lots of gaps, add some manure and some compost to those gaps. I'm not sure what herbs I might take some parsley today for the pasta sauce. Check for caterpillars, check for slugs, so I will take a container in with me to pop them in, and then just have a look to see if anything's grown from the seeds that I've sown in here. So that is today's job. Oh, and give the dill a good shake, so hopefully I'll get some self-seeding ones next year. So I've had a good check for the caterpillars, and even though this one is pretty well established, I did find 2 caterpillars on this one. The ones I put the rings around, they seem to be okay. Nothing has gone on to those ones. Oh, I see a weed. There's me thinking I'm all done. Let's make sure I'm not standing on anything. So we have a weed here. Is it a weed? You know, I never know anymore. So sometimes I just let it grow. There's nothing there. It's fine. I've still got quite a lot of sorrel. I think plant a lot less of that next year. Some parsley. No, that's coriander. That's doing really well. I've just cut all the parsley down that was here. I have got so much spinach. I need to, sorry, red vein sorrel, Chinese spinach. I've got it here. I've got it all here, and I've got it over there and down here. It is an amazing grower, and it grew all through the summer. No bolting or anything like that, like normal spinach. It tastes the same as normal spinach. And then if you like the smaller leaves, you get all the smaller ones under here. So I think I need to come up with a recipe for spinach. That's not pasta, because I'm fed up with pasta. I've got nothing growing here, so that's another one of the spots that need manuring, but the weather is changing very, very fast. My purple basil is doing fantastic in there, and I've got just down there Brussels sprouts, another Brussels sprouts, another Brussels sprouts. The reason why I planted so many Brussels sprouts in here is because the ones at the allotment were stunted, but now they're not. So we have cabbage, a Brussels sprout. That one is a Brussels sprout. This one is a cabbage, or could be a cauliflower. They look the same until they get their heads. And again, we have cabbage or cauliflower, whatever decides to grow there. We have a pak choy down here that looks like it's ready to be harvested, but I won't be eating it today, so I'm not going to harvest it today. And I've got some small beets just over here, which is the last of my beets in the garden. So I've got some small beets just there, which is ready for a salad. But I'm, like I say, I can pull them up just as I'm about to cook with them. And I've still got some flowers in here, so it's not all green, just mostly. And a few marigolds dotted around, and tons of chives. So let's have a sniff of these ones. Okay, so oh my gosh, they're the garlic chives. They are amazing. They've done really well in here, the garlic chives. And I have got what looks to be another brassica growing here, but it's not doing very well. But I think that was because of this sunflower was stunting the light getting to it. So that's off now. I'm going to leave the stalk in for a little bit longer, and then I will pull it out when the tomato plant's finished. That way I'm not disturbing the tomato plant. I've got some alyssum here as well. That's still flowering, so now all the heat is gone. That's flowering now. And I have got one lavender in here. And that's it. So seed wise, I mean, look, that's self-seeded. Oh, look, me jumping. Look at this massive cobweb. Okay, so let me use this stick. So I've got one pea left here. In here I planted cabbage, so that's what these are. So that's quite good. A random mushroom. Nope, don't want that. Get out. Get out. I mean, is that a good sign, a bad sign? Don't know. So we've got what we planted there, and then in here we have some yellow beets which aren't really doing anything. They've looked like that for a few weeks now. Some sorrel and some more beets just here. And then on this side we've got what we popped in, some more chives. And then I planted something else over here. I did plant something here, which is what's making me keep that. What else did I plant? I've got just a few down here. I think that was the turnips. I did plant swede in here, but they didn't work, so I don't know if that's swede. That's been eaten. Oh, I've got a curly kale there that hasn't got a ring around it. Unusual. And then under here, all of this here is turnips, which I didn't thin out.
but I'm not sure that's going to work because we've got this massive brassica here that's blocking all of the light. So I might actually just take that last leaf off. And just under here we have some more beets that nothing's happened either. Okay, I'm going to try and reach over without falling and grab that leaf. Oh, I made it. So yeah, so I've never grown turnips before, so I don't know how long they take, but they've looked like that for a little while. They did get damaged by flea beetle though. Right, out I come. So I definitely need to redesign this cage because it moves and I have to duck down there. So I think I'm going to do, instead of having the blue, I think I'm going to do a wooden frame, attach the net into the wooden frame, and then build a door like very similar to what I did at the allotment, rather than having a door that's as flimsy as it is. I'm also going to take out the bridge, as beautiful as it is, because that bridge is stunning in there. I'm going to put some slabs in there, not very big, just big enough for my foot and my little boy's foot. So I will put one here, one just here, so I can step straight in. I won't be a silly moo and plant a brassica right in the doorway again. If it was a Brussels sprout I would have pulled it out, but it's not, so I'm leaving it. But then once the tomato's done, I can probably make more space that way, and I might even put one there, and then in between the three pillars there I will put another stone there. And I can't get to this corner at all, so I need to put something there, and I can't get to this corner, so I need to put something there, just to make it a little bit easier for me to get around and film, because filming in here is very difficult now I have the netting all the way around. So probably put a hook on there to hold my phone. That would be a good idea. Part 1 all done, part 2 coming up.